So, ladies and gentlemen, today it's post-Oscar Monday. We just had a snowstorm throughout the province of New Brunswick. Gives us enough time to look at the highlights and lowlights of the Oscars. Now, for me, the biggest problem with the Oscars last night wasn't anything major. You know, you're going to have your upsets and you're going to have your debate, but having the Oscars only 3.5 hours kind of takes away from the marathon aspect is what it should be. By my count, the Oscars, even with Julia Roberts at the end, because she sometimes talks on forever about herself and her beautiful children and her beautiful husband, and all kind of stuff. 3 hours and 30. That's kind of tight. Now, 5 little takeaways from the show, and I think these are going to cover most of the major stuff. 3 things I didn't really like, and I'm doing it very quickly. You know how much I don't like Serena Williams. I respect her as an athlete, but she shouldn't have presented. She was comparable to Mark Spitz presenting in the 70s. What does she have to do with movies? She's a great athlete, but with all the lawsuit and controversy in recent months about the cartoon and the different stuff that's been going on in her life. Now, the makeup winners went on and on. Everybody's talking about that. I think the reason why they're makeup, because you can't really read a list of who they can thank. There should only be 10 people to thank. When I won an award for Sport New Brunswick Best Journalist, I thanked 10 people. I knew it was going to take 2 minutes. Got it done, got in, got off. Thank my hometown, blah, blah, blah. It's not hard to do. And the third weird one, of course, was kind of bizarre, was all the controversy over Gaga and Bradley Cooper. If Gaga and Bradley Cooper were going to get together, they would have got together doing the filming of Stars Born. They're both actors. If they're singing on stage looking lovingly at each other, that's what actors do. I find you have some chemistry, but it's not, Bradley Cooper is okay looking, Gaga, she's okay. But I mean, this is not the great on-screen love couple of all time. I've seen, better. And, Star is Born draws a very weird crowd, because when I saw it, there was 6 stone middle-aged women from Woodstock behind me, giggling because they were talking up in the bathroom before, during, and after the movie, and they basically said, that's all there is? Well, it is what it is. Now, 5 little things I want to talk about very, very quickly, because I want to make this less than 10 minutes. Now, Rami Malek, great actor, very comparable right now to the same level of Darren Criss. His performance as Freddie, there was a lot of flaws in the movie Bohemian Rhapsody. He has so much momentum right now. Anything he's in, he's going to win. It's comparable to Peter Strauss. It's compared to Nick Nolte in the 70s, Tommy Lee Jones in the 80s. Sometimes an actor gets momentum. He's very, very well liked right now. Now, this Freddie Mercury is not a perfect Freddie. There was some stretching of the truth. Personally, I haven't seen the movie yet. Some of my gay friends in the Canadian media have tipped me off. It doesn't really talk, in an honest way about Freddie's, rise to power. But considering he's an immigrant, and Freddie, of course, coming from Zanzibar, coming as an immigrant to England, that's a nice parallel. So I think overall, he's a great actor. He deserves it. But some people were bitching a little bit about it. Now, Olivia Colman knocking off Glenn Close. Ladies and gentlemen, when you come to the Oscars, there's always a Brit that wins sometime for the acting categories. It's very rare every year that people are nominated, you don't win. Coleman is a very over-the-top actress. She's very bubbly. She used basically British profanity on stage. Wasn't beeped. A snog. For certain people, a snog means a little bit more intimate than a kiss and a hug. But anyway, she gave a great acceptance speech. And Glenn Close should have won, but then again, it depends what the voters want. It's a big category. Now, number 3. I'm going to keep what people are saying worse for last. But number 3, seeing certain negativity towards Spike Lee winning. Some people, some critics have basically said, he forgave too quickly. When you're a man of talent like Spike Lee, he's been up and down so much you think he's an elevator. But when I saw Samuel Jackson go on stage, I knew for sure Spike was going to win for a screenplay. That's how it worked with the Oscars. You say, we don't know what's in the envelope. But my God, when Scorsese won for The Departed years ago, he had 3 the best directors of all time giving it. Come on. But when he jumped in Samuel Jackson's arms and a big hug, like personally, Spike Lee, what they should have had maybe is Kim Basinger in the crowd, because she's the one that stood up for Spike when Do the Right Thing didn't get many nominations for the Oscars where it should have. And the love and hate on these hands, I hope it was a tribute to Robert Mitchum. But you know what love and hate is, but that's another podcast altogether. The old Bible thing, one hand is love and one hand hate, and there's always a battle. So Spike's winning. Congratulations. I know Donald Trump was very happy for you. That's a joke, by the way. Now, number 4, seeing Mahershala Ali win was great. He's a very good actor. But his win and the Green Book victory for Best Picture, a lot of flack going on. A lot of people saying it was a wrong black movie to win. Some people were hoping Roma would win. Roma is a kind of a combination of a Aboriginal and Mexican motif, double over. But I think Green Book won, and I hope you do the math on this. When you have 8 movies, I think there was a vote splitting. Some people that voted for Panther, Stars Born, everything together. I had a feeling about 10 minutes before it happened, and I tell you why. And this is a shout out to my good friend Derek Hamilton, who was in the shack with Octavia Spencer. Octavia Spencer's Q factor is very, very big in the Academy, and her being part of Green Book, which of course depends how you see it, because some people say it didn't have enough of the real story of the Green Book situation about that a black musician being led through the South by a white bodyguard, and a kind of driving Miss Daisy in reverse, which I don't think is a tribute to the movie. I think Green Book will find an audience, but I mean, you can't give an award to everybody. Black just being nominated is best. The only possibility Black Panther would have won if enough people voted for Stars Born, and Bohemian Rhapsody could have won, which would have been a total mind craziness, because the movie itself is not enough to be Best Picture, enough for Best Actor, but not Best Picture. But like every Oscar has its controversy. Now we know after the event, Spike Lee tried to take off in protest to Green Book winning. Rami Malek fall off the stage, which is kind of the Anne Margaret thing. Every great celebrity falls off a stage. But for me, the highlight, and people are not talking about too much, and this is a shout out to Cameron Crowe, Regina King, who I consider comparable to Cicely Tyson and Diane Carroll and all the great black actresses through the years. Regina King has always impressed me. She's been herself in every show she was in. And if you really go back and look at Jerry Maguire, where Cuba won the Oscar, part of that Oscar that Cuba won was Regina pushing him into a better performance. Because there's a characterization in movies that's very common now, the very proud black woman who supports her husband or her children, like a middle-aged character. And Regina King plays that to a level where we all, understand what she's doing. And as an Acadian, I see a lot of young Acadian mothers, or in their 40s, that they look at that characterization. It was sort of like when the black female in movies was respected not only for being black, because of the cultural aspect of the strong black man concept made by a strong black woman. A strong black man cannot become a strong black man without the support of a strong black woman. And that's what Regina King is. I'm just going to be hoping down the road Mahershala Ali and Regina King and all the great young male and female black actors coming up continue to work on great parts, because the black actors were held from Hollywood for years. For years, all we had was Louis Gossett Jr. and Denzel, and a few other key actors were getting roles that were sort of like window dressing. But one thing, if you have a chance, if you tape the Oscars, relook at it. I really think that our triple threat from Saturday Night Live, you know who I'm talking about, should host next year. They'd be great, because they're just, very underrated as comedians. So on this cold, snowy Monday post-Oscar, we tell everybody to keep your stick on the ice. And I always wonder why people get so worked up by the Oscars. Sometimes a party is just a party, and that's what Hollywood Oscar is, party. You have to go in and look at it and say, this is going on. And I do miss one thing, though. When CBC had two very good movie reviewers back in the day, they used to have a show the day after the Oscars to kind of look at what happened. But one thing I really don't understand. I watch KTLA's pre-Oscar stuff. I just bought the new Superstation package from Bell. That was some of the most biggest flubs I've ever seen. And you know something? Ever since I've been watching KTLA, they're the channel to watch for Oscar flubs. So I kind of treated myself this year. Did 9 hours of pregame for you guys out there, and I taped it fast forward. But my God, I love my Oscars, because why would I be talking to you for 10 minutes if I didn't love the Oscars? And if anybody at the Academy is listening, if you have a media pass for me, I'm not hard to find. I'll basically write the lead. The Oscars are for everyone and for no one at the same time. Ooh, what a lead. Keep your stick in the ice. Have a good day. Bye.